What's good, everyone? Have you ever stopped and thought, what if the legends who built this entire industry just straight up hate what it's become today? Like, we're all standing on the shoulders of absolute giants, but one of those giants just looked down and went, nah, this is mid. I'm talking about Torishima Kazuhiko, man. The guy who was basically the godfather at Shonen Jump, editor for Dr. Slump, discovered Akira Toriyama, shaped Dragon Ball from the very beginning. This dude is the reason a lot of us even fell in love with manga in the first place. And recently he dropped some nuclear-level takes in an interview. No filter, just raw, blunt Japanese grandpa energy. And I gotta say, some of it hit hard. Some of it made me want to throw my volume 1 of One Piece across the room. First off, he was dead against making Goku an adult. Thought it would kill the series. Bro, adult Goku is the version the whole world knows and loves. Turning Dragon Ball into that high-octane battle shonen is what made it explode globally. If they'd kept it as pure kid comedy, it probably wouldn't be the cultural monster it is today. That's crazy to hear from the guy who was right there in the trenches. He roasted the early Piccolo Daimao fight because the Dr. Slump team sucked at action. Then they smartly rebranded to Dragon Ball Z with a new team that came from Saint Seiya. And yeah, that shows. Those fights hit different. He even said the Z stood for Toriyama, thinking it was literally the last letter, so nothing would come after. Famous last words, huh? But then he starts going off on modern stuff, and I'm sitting here like, damn, Grandpa, chill. He called Dragon Ball Daima slow, stupid, and said the first episode is useless. The disrespect is next level. He said the whole industry would have collapsed without GT back in the day, because Dragon Ball ending caused a crash. That part actually makes sense when you think about how much money these franchises print. But then he says today's manga sucks because they're too wordy, don't use double-page spreads anymore, and smartphones ruined everything. He thinks everything's written by adults for adults now, so kids don't read it. And get this, he thinks Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, and especially Chainsaw Man are crap. Blue Lock too. Only Hisayami is worth reading, according to him. Bro, what? Look, I get being an old head. I love classic stuff too. Touch is great. Early Naruto was fire. Pain arc is peak. But saying there's not a single good modern manga? That's wild. Manga has evolved. Art's cleaner. Storytelling's trying new wild stuff. Genres are expanding. Yeah, some series are bloated with text, but when it's done right, like in JoJo or late One Piece, that lore dump slaps. He praised Oda for being a massive manga nerd, but then said that's exactly why One Piece is too heavy for kids now, while Toriyama hated drawing manga, so he kept Dragon Ball simple and accessible. That's actually a pretty interesting point. Dragon Ball is easy to jump into even today. One Piece, you kinda need to commit. At the end of the day though, this dude helped birth legends. He came out of retirement after Toriyama passed because he felt he needed to speak up. Respect for that. But man, the industry has to grow. It has to change. If we only ever made stuff for kids the way it was in the 80s, we wouldn't have half the bangers we got now. So yeah, the giants gave us the foundation. Now it's our job to build on it without forgetting what made it special in the first place. Have you ever stopped and thought, what if the legends who built this entire industry just straight up hate what it's become today? Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you team old school or you riding with the new generation? Drop your hottest take. I've been Bobby Lulz too. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.